Who that say you ask me? Black man, I'm so handsome, no apologies. I'm so fire burning like a 3rd degree. See, super cold winter like a cold breeze. Say man, can you tell me what you see? I ain't stressing, I'm just blessed to just be one of me. My melanin looks so beautiful, don't you agree? I just had to take some time to just go love on me. So pardon me. You thought that you could kill me with pressure. That's what made me a treasure. Whoa. Black boy, yo, I just made us an anthem. Let's take it to new levels. Yeah. Take it in, let it out, let it out. They don't wanna know what you about. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah. GWC, I'm so good. Yeah, yeah. Take it in, let it out, yeah. They don't wanna know what you about. I'm good. So GWC, I'm so good. I said, who that say you ask me? Black man, I'm so handsome, no apologies. Second nature, feeling amazing when it comes to me. You'll never see this kind of love. I know that I got a purpose, but the generation after generation breaking away the deeply rooted curses. Took some time, I realized that I'm worthy. Promise everything I got and I earned it. It's the Black boy joy anthem. Let's take it to new levels. Take it in, and let it out. Oh, I'm good. Said I'm so good. I'm good. Yeah, yeah. Take it in and let it out. Cause they gon' wanna know. Babe, I'm so good. So melody, I'm so good. Said I'm good. You thought that you could kill me with pressure. That's what made me a treasure. Whoa. Black boy, yo, I just made us an anthem. Let's take it to new levels, yeah. You thought that you could kill me with pressure. That's what made me a treasure. Whoa. Black boy, yo, I just made us an anthem. Let's take it to new levels, yeah. Take it in and let it out. Oh, I'm good. Said I'm so good. I'm good. Yeah. Take it in and let it out. Cause they gon' wanna know. Babe, I'm so good. The melody, I'm so good. Said I'm good. Thought that you could kill me with pressure. That's what made me a treasure. Whoa. Black boy, yo, I just made it to end. Let's take it to new levels. Yeah.
One, two, I've hustled harder than most. I'm a beast on these streets, got a revolver I tote. For these niggas trying to take me off the block where I post. Up daily, sip Baileys out the bottle and smoke.
Man, what's up with it, family? What's up with it? What's the damn deal, man? This is JuniorTheTruth, and this is indeed, man, the Punch Junkie Podcast, man. Hosted by yours truly, JuniorTheTruth. You can follow me everywhere via social media. I can be found with the handle JuniorTheTruth. That's JuniorTheTruth, and that's over all the social media platforms. Each and every one, man. That is JuniorTheTruth, JuniorTheTruth, and that's over all the social media platforms, man. But if you're really looking for me, you can catch me over on the Punch Junkie Network. www.punchjunkie.com will get you there. It's the last place in the world for real fans of the sweet science. Be sure to come check us out, man. www.punchjunkie.com. Catch the Punch Junkie news while you're there, as well as, man, go get you some merch while you're over there, man, at the Punch Junkie shop. But salute to the family. Thank y'all so much, man. I really, truly, genuinely appreciate it. Salute to my family, Big Dez, Kunkin Dog, my BCU family in the building, man. What's good with you, family? Salute. Av Boy Jr. 83 is in the building. What's good with you, family? Salute to you, man. Thank y'all so much. Man, I'm gonna start off by apologizing, man. I've been kind of incognito this week. This is the school started this week. You know what I mean? So it's been family business. You feel me? It's been straight family business. So I've been adhering to and taking care of the family, man, the La Familia. So apologies to everybody that's been, uh looking for me, you feel me? But I've been definitely on the standing down with my boots laced, man, handling family business. Salute to my sister Queen 71 in the building. Queen 71 said, "Good morning, Junior," in chat, headed to the website. Thank you so much, love. Man, salute to y'all though, man. Salute. I'm supposed to make like all these different announcements. The Punch Junkie mobile app, the Punch Junkie app, the Punch Junkie Network app has been taken down temporarily. So if you have the app, you can still use the app on Android. The Apple app has been down and taken down, but both apps will be back up. The goal is the actual 31st of August to have both apps back up and running and relaunched and improved. But I'll let you guys know is make the formal announcement when the apps are up. But salute to everybody that's over on the Punch Junkie Network, man, the last place in the world for real fans of the sweet science. Man, that's just what that is, man. And it's painfully obvious that a lot of people just not here for the science no more. But the Punch Junkie Network, man, is one of the last places in the world for real fans of the sweet science. Salute to Star City J in the building. What's good with you, homie? Salute to you. Boxing and Barbecue, my brother in the building. What's good with you, man? Rob Singleton in the building. What's up with you, big Rob, man? Salute to you, family. What else am I supposed to say, man? I forgot what I was supposed to say. This is gonna totally be like this is unscripted. This is really truly just um this is a conversation I've been feeling like I've been needing to have. And it's I'm gonna say it. Let me preface it because we're not gonna be long. It is inspired by just like the recent things that have been taking place within the sport of boxing with regard to just these fights, man, and our inability to get the fights that we really want to see, and the careers and the career trajectory of these young fighters. Shade Girl 85, my sister in the building. What's up with it, Shade Girl? Um, and I feel like, you know, some of this conversation, and it's a conversation, like this is a conversation that we're gonna have, but we're gonna have it for the world to hear because I feel like these young fighters, like a lot of them, they need to hear this stuff, man. Like they need to hear this stuff because they don't get it. And we're in a boxing is in a it's in a peculiar place. It's in a dynamic shift, like it's in a shift. And um the things that have worked historically in the sport of boxing are no longer working. You know what I mean? And the things that people once did in order to, have successful boxing careers, that formula is no longer working and there is a new formula. And I'm going to tell you the majority of boxers don't get it. Like the majority of boxers, the majority of fighters, they don't get it. And the majority of fighters are not equipped to be able to compete in this current landscape and this current shift in the sport of boxing. Like, and when I say compete, I'm not even talking in the ring. I'm not talking about in the ring. I'm talking about everywhere else that counts, being able to compete at the negotiation table, being able to compete at the box office, being able to compete, you feel me, in the eyes of fans, being able to compete with regard to viewership, being able to compete. Like most of these fighters aren't equipped. You know what I mean? They're not equipped. And I think that there's been a lot of mishaps and a lot of mishandlings. And so I just want to come in and y'all know I don't be doing this, and I know how y'all get when I do this. Y'all be like, man, be quiet, man. Stop giving it away. You got to sell that, and so on and so forth. But man, I love the sport so much, man. Some of this stuff, man, I have to give away. I have to give it away, and hopefully that a couple of people will pick it up off the ground, man, and do something with it. So the first thing is, when we look at and I'm gonna say, well, before we do all of that, let me give a couple shout outs. Salute to Pro Box TV, man. Salute to Pro Box TV. They had a phenomenal card on Saturday. I mean, not Saturday, I'm sorry, it was a Wednesday. Phenomenal card on Wednesday. the main event was Swift Jared Hurd versus Banana Jason Rosario. They did fight at 160 pounds. That fight is, two notable names. I've been watching Pro Box for a while, and that's probably the biggest fight that I've seen with names on Pro Box. It's probably the biggest fight I've seen. So salute to them. It is streaming. I don't want to go all off into this because a few folks hit me up, and they've been hitting me up with the Pro Box, and they like, man, people been listening. They've been listening because we've been talking about this non-conventional way of doing boxing, and so I'm glad that people have been listening and been able to take it and actually apply it. Salute to them. So Pro Box, they've had this. They do Wednesday night fights, which for when you've been a boxing fan for 40 plus years like myself, that's a big deal. That's a big deal, man, because I remember watching Wednesday night fights, man. I remember Wednesday night fights, Friday night fights, Knockout TV on HBO. Like, I remember all of those, and the big fights on Saturday. And so Wednesday night fights, man, I'm talking USA, the USA channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking on when was it Wednesday night fights on USA, or because I believe they used to do Wednesday night. It was either they did Tuesday and Thursday or Wednesday nights. I don't remember, but I think it was Wednesday nights on USA. You feel me? I'm that old, man, where we used to get the Wednesday night fights. We used to get the fights on ESPN. You feel me? Once again, KOTV on HBO. And so I'm excited when it comes to the Wednesday night model with Pro Box TV. I'm also excited because they were able to get Swift Jared Hurd versus Banana J Rosario in a huge fight. You know what I mean? A huge fight, very meaningful fight. And that was that. So I salute to them. Salute to the two fighters, man. That fight actually ended in a draw. Salute to Swift Jared Hurd, man. Salute to Banana J Rosario. I'm gonna say this. And I spoke too soon. I was in the chat with the brothers, and Jared Hurd came out, and he came out like gangbusters, man. He came out pitching a shutout, man. He was moving good. He was fighting in a style that of course, we've not come accustomed to seeing Swift Jared Hurd. He was defensively sound. He used his legs. He controlled the distance. He had a long, rangy, powerful jab. You know what I'm saying? Where he was literally, I'm talking about a powerful thudding jab that he was able to control, and all of his work came off of the jab. He was also very intentional with hiding the right hand behind the jab. Like, Jared Hurd looked really, really, really good. And what I said was, the way Jared Hurd is looking, he's going to be a world champion again at 160. Because if he comes out, and he will box, if he comes out the way that he was controlling that fight and establishes that jab and works purely behind that jab, he's going to be very difficult for everybody at 160-pound division. Period, because there was no getting past that jab. He controlled the distance. He used his legs on defense. He changed levels. He was dipping and sliding. Like, Jared Hurd looked very phenomenal in the early onset of that fight, and he was pitching the shutout, in my opinion. Banana J Rosario was consistent and constant with applying pressure. He came on in the later rounds, and the combination of him coming on in the later rounds, and I believe Jared Hurd kind of losing his way, met for what ended up being a very competitive fight, and it ended in a draw. It's a fight I definitely want to see again. But I just think that I don't know what kind of adjustments can be made. I don't know what Jared Hurd can do to sustain. what he did early on in that fight, or I don't know what Banana J can do to work to do the work earlier, to get his stuff off earlier and not wait so late. But I'd like to see that fight again. Both fighters, the fighter who, that fight was built up as, whoever wins this fight is going to hoist themselves in contention for a title shot, and whoever loses, might need to pack it up. You know what I mean? And so it ended in a draw. It was a good fight. Both fighters look good. I definitely like to see it again. I think it's something they can do again on Pro Box TV, honestly speaking, if if they agree to it. Excuse me. But man, salute to them. You know what I mean? I haven't really been that entertained. Let me think about this. Yeah, I haven't been that entertained in a fight in a while. Like I haven't been that fight was very I was on the edge of my seat, man. I was on the edge of my seat watching it. And I was thoroughly impressed with Jared Hurd. You know what I mean? I was especially early on, you know. I think he could have came out because it was a 10-round fight. He could have came out if he would have closed the 10th round and won the 10th round, he would have won the fight, man. But he just something happened, man. I don't know if the gas. Yeah. Queen said Hurd let off the gas in a couple of rounds. Last couple of rounds, yeah, maybe he ran out of gas. I'm not sure, but he came out, and that's just it, though. That's just it, Rob Singleton. He didn't, excuse me, he didn't come out slow. Jared Hurd came out working that jab like it was a beautiful jab too. It was I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think historically because he was popping it, bro. But it was it was power, boom. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And he was making Banana J step back off the jab. Couple of times, I ain't saying he hurt him, but a couple of times he definitely caught his attention off that jab. Salute to my brother Stormy B-Man in the building. What's up with it, bro? But then, and he was hiding the right hand and he was changing levels on the jab and he was sliding like he did not, the Jared Hurd we used to see at 154 pounds, who was the unified champion at 154, he just wore you down and his defense was his face. Like he just came straight forward. He stalked you. He took a whole lot of punishment and he would take some to give some. And that's just what it was. You know what I mean? But this Jared Hurd was tricky, not tricky. He was calculated. He was intentional with controlling the distance, and all of the work came behind the educated jab early on. And then he let off the gas, man, or ran out of gas or whatever the case may be. He started puttering. And then Banana J came on in the later rounds and it ended in the draw. So I'd like to see that fight again for sure. See what kind of adjustments can be made, man, and see how we go from there. So, but salute to Pro Box TV. I've been, making my rounds and I've been really watching the different content, man, and with regard to the sport of boxing, I'm listening to the things that people are saying and things, stories that are being, presented on whatnot. Man, I just don't know about this modern landscape, man, of boxing, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I just don't know. And that's why I want to have my message to these young fighters. Because I want them to get it. Like if you're a young fighter, you just now turning pro, or if you're a young fighter and you maybe in the amateurs or whatever the case may be, man, I'm gonna say this. And I mean this with all sincerity that I can muster up in my heart, man. I mean this with all sincerity that I can muster up in my heart. You have to I'm sorry, I'm looking at a job just was sent to me, man. I'm looking at it. Um you have to be very you got to be very, very intentional with you got to be very, very intentional with the way you structure your team and you structure your career. It's no longer good enough to just kind of come through the ranks and, just be all willy-nilly and then get picked up by, a big promoter and then go to work with them, and there's off, there's your career. Um, Young fighters, I think it's imperative that you have a team and that you put your team together at a young age. Like the moment you realize that you want to be a professional fighter and that you're going to your life is lining up towards you going and being a professional fighter, I think it's imperative that you begin to assemble your team. And the core of your team, like the core of your team, the core foundation of your team should be people that love you. The core foundation of your team should be people that have been involved in your life, people that you have a relationship with, people that actually love you. Um, in my opinion, I'm not gonna lie to you, it will probably be like the people who would be around you even if you didn't box. I'm gonna give you an example. So an example I'm gonna use, and I know this is reaching, and a lot of people ain't gonna be feeling this or whatever the case may be, but whatever, y'all just listen to me. LeBron James, the people who are like he works with, of course, he has to work with different entities, you know what I mean, in order to accrue the amount of wealth that he has. So he has to work with this corporation, that corporation, representatives from this corporation, representatives for that corporation. But the core of his team, the core of his team are people who he has relationships with that actually love him, that have known him before the onset of his professional career. The core of his team are people who have been around him, people who, people he grew up with, his high school teammates. The core of his team are people who he would have a relationship with regardless of if he was LeBron James as we know him or LeBron James at the crib. You see what I'm saying? For me, I just got off the phone with Thomas Few. I just got off the phone with him because I'm like, hey, bro, we chopping it up. What's happening? What's up for the day? Let's link up, that sort of situation. I have a relationship with him beyond anything else. You feel me? He is my day one, King Vonnie. And he's going to be a part, or he is a part of my core team, like my core group. You feel me? I'm building something, he's building something, and we have this running joke, right? And it's not a joke, it's dead serious. One of us is gonna get to these M's. One of us gonna get to these M's. And if he get to them M's before I do, guess what? Bro, I'm going over there and I'm helping him with what he got going on. You feel me? And we gonna figure out how to make how I can use my skills and attributes and knowledge and insights to help push what he doing to the next level. If I get to these M's first, hey bro, man, I got this bubbling. I need you. He gonna come over here and help me build. This is our thing. Your core group, man, it has to be people that love you and have to be people who've been around you, in my opinion. Do you understand what I'm saying? It can't just be people who see you and they see promise in you and then they just come along. No, man, you got to have people who have been around you, and that has to be the core of your group. And I'm talking to the young fighters. You have to build that group, man. It has to be your core group. Also, I think that young fighters, you have to get out of the mindset of moving to Vegas or moving to California or moving to like you got to move away from where you are. You have to get out of that mindset. I get it, and I understand that some boxing cultures are going to be different from others, and you have to go and dibble and dabble, and you have to travel to those places. I do understand that. I understand that boxing is a very nomadic sport, meaning you have to travel You understand what I'm saying? And go to different places. But it is also imperative that you establish a home base. You have to establish a home base. Particularly, in my opinion, it should be where you are from. You have to establish a home base where you're from, right? You have to be in those, especially early on in your career and early on, when you make this decision. You understand what I'm saying? You like when you make the decision that this is the direction I'm heading, you have to be ingrained in the fibers of your community, and you have to stay that way, man. Like, you have to stay that way because it gives you it's twofold. Your community will they establishing a home base in your community. They will be the ones to help build you up, and they will be the ones to help champion for you, right? Secondly, you're preparing a soft space for you to land in the event that things go haywire, because things always have the potential to go haywire. So you have to establish that soft landing for yourself. You have to establish those community ties. You have to establish those networks. Tay, I see you in the building. What's happening with you? My brother T Few said, we're gonna get to these M's. Oh, we gonna get to these M's, bro. We're gonna get them. What's up, K_G_? I see you, KG. But you gotta establish that, man. Like, it's too often that fighters are young and they show promise, and then they're plucked from the community prematurely. They're plucked from the community prematurely. They're put in these different places, and they're expected to perform or whatever the case may be. And it's like, nah, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't work. And then when it doesn't work and you got to return back to the community, like, the community don't know you, bro. You have to establish that home base and establish that network. And you have to do things in the community, man. You got to do community service. You got to be around. You got to help it while working on your career. You got to work with some of the young kids in the gym. You got to be at some of the schools. You got to go back to your elementary schools and help out. You got to go to some of the high school basketball games and football games, and people have to see you in the community. I ain't saying you got to do you got to do the thug shit, because that's the other thing. You can't do all the shit, but you have to be in the space, and you have to build those bonds and those ties, all while focusing on your career. And your core group has to be a group of people that literally love you. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, in a lot of instances, I'm not going to lie to you, especially early on, it's almost better for you if you are in a if you are in a if you are in a city or in a community that has a boxing culture, and they put on fights and they have fight cards and whatnot. It's almost better for you to work with your local promoter. It's not almost. It is better for you to work with your local promoters and really work with those promoters and have those events, especially if you have a buzz of people who have been following you as an amateur and you a young promising fighter, and the community's kind of behind you. And I'm gonna tell you what happens now. What happens now is you have a kid that's from, let's say you'll have a kid from let's say he's from I don't know, let's say he's from Texas. We ain't gonna say Texas. We'll say he's from Cincinnati. He's from Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay. Young promising kid, decorated amateur, had an Olympic Olympic pedigree, you know what I'm saying? Or let's say he went to the Olympics. Let's say he went to the Olympics, right? And he has his it's a lot of buzz around him, a lot of promise, so on and so forth, right? People are definitely following his career. He's come up in the city. They've always been around and so on and so forth. Okay. So the kid has promise, right? Went to the Olympics, everything. So when you do his pro debut, right? When he does his pro debut, his pro debut should be in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because we're in this new space of boxing. So his pro debut should be an event. It should be, you should have a bunch of, local talent, some established, local talent, maybe some. It doesn't have to be a big event. You can do it at at one of the smaller arena venues or whatever the case may be. But it should be an event where we're saying, hey, this kid is going pro. This is his pro debut. He's debuting at home in front of the fans, in front of his hometown fans. The kid's coming back, from the Olympics, blah, 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 blah. This is our one. He's pro debuting in Cincinnati at the, whatever small arena, yada, yada, yada. And then pushed and probed the event, have a whole bunch of other fights, local talent, some people who've been around, out of the get the people who are in and frequent out of the local gyms, fill the card up with good, competitive fights, and debut him and as the main event and pack the arena. You understand what I'm saying? Pack the arena, and you can, do it. You can have the local news stations there. Everybody's gonna be there. The local people are gonna be there, and you can stream it on social media. With whoever the local promoter is, stream it to social media. And you know what I mean? You can do everything that you need to do as far as social media is concerned to promote the fight. Probably have the fight on a Friday. You know what I'm saying? Have the card on a Friday, do a little Friday night fight joint and stream it. You know what I mean? And maybe even stream it live, because if the kid's gone to the Olympics, he has a pretty good following. He's tied to the USA boxing. You can stream it at the crib. You understand? Or stream it, to his channel or whatever the case may be. In a small, packed out venue in his hometown. Or is it better for the kid? Because what happens now is you'll have that same kid, and they'll be in that same situation, and they will debut on the undercard of a Terrence Bud Crawford fight or a Canelo Alvarez fight. He'll fight in Las Vegas, Nevada, and he'll be one of the early fights on the card, and nobody will know. Nobody will be in the arena. His mom and them. You understand what I'm saying? It won't be televised, and you won't see his pro debut. Which one is better for the career, for establishing a buzz and establishing the career of a fighter? In my opinion, it's better for the kid to be to debut at home in front of his home crowd. You feel me? He should be debuting in front of his home crowd, establishing his home base, working with his team of people that are close to him and love him, working with the local promoters, working with the local boxing gyms, working with filling out the card with people who are in and around his city, or people who are willing to come to the city for a fight. And I think that, I'm not going to lie to you. I think fighters, man, honestly speaking, I think probably like the first, especially those fighters with that type of pedigree, your first probably 5 to 10 fights should be at home. Your first fight, the first 2 years, which would be your, 5 to 10 fights, your first 2 years should be at home. You should be at home. You should be fighting at home, fighting probably three to four, probably 3 years. I say 3 times a year. I really would say 4, fight quarterly, depending on what kind of damage and stuff you taking. But you probably should fight 4 times a year. And so that would be what, your first 8 fights, 6 to 8 fights. Your first 6 to 8 fights, had them at home. with that format that we just had. Have your team established, and it's twofold. First of all, you're building your buzz up at home. You're actually doing the things that you need to do to stay relevant, in the community. You're putting people on. You're partnering with local businesses. You're bringing business into the actual city itself. You're able to establish certain partnerships. That's going to turn into some marketing dollars that you'll be able to, if local marketing dollars. You understand what I'm saying? Local marketing dollars. Because let's be clear, you're not going to be in a position early on. You're not in a position to market anywhere else. You're not going to be in a position to market for Nike, for Adidas, for Everlast, for Gatorade, for what's the Prime, any of these energy drinks, none of that stuff. None of the vitamin. You're not going to be in a position to market for none of them. But if you're a local kid, guess who you can market for? You can market for the local plumbing company at the crib. They'll give you a few $1,000s to work for them. You have some people who are from where you from who are launching a clothing line. You understand what I'm saying? They'll give you a couple of dollars and some clothes to market their merchandise. You feel me? Now you're going to be able to you're going to have some maybe some other local teams, right? Some local, maybe professional, semi-professional teams. You're going to be able to go and market, their market for them. So you're going to be able to start the process of marketing a whole lot earlier if you stay local. And marketing dollars, and let's be clear, sports marketing is big business, first of all. Secondly, it is another stream of income that's coming in. You feel me? It's another stream of income that is coming in. So you'll be able to get into that as well. But it's much more, like I said, it's very important for these people to establish their brand locally. And on top of that, right, this team that you're assembled, guess what you're doing when you do those local fights? You're giving them reps. You're giving them reps so they understand what it's like to book venues. They understand what it's like to work with the promoters. They understand what the rules and how it works with regard to the concessions. They understand what it means with regard to the promotions. They understand what it means with regard to controlling and running social media campaigns, promoting stuff on social media, running social media ads. They understand what it means to book interviews, to manage your schedule, to what it is to basically work with you. That's what your team, they're understanding it. So now they're getting prepared. So you have your team, and your team is going to be able to be seasoned. They're going to have experienced it. Y'all going to be then caught some bricks. So you understand what it's like to catch the bricks and how to deal with it. And then you'll also be able to go and work with a bigger entity. But when you're able to work with a bigger entity, your team is already seasoned and established. So they understand more than it is, and you'll be better equipped for success than it is if someone just comes and just plucks you out the city, pluck you out your gym, put you with this promotional entity, move you to Las Vegas. You can use our gym facilities. I know they're top of the line. You can use these gym facilities and then let us handle your business over here. That's a recipe for disaster now, especially when you're dealing with promotional entities that have no idea how to properly promote you. So you have to have a team established. And so you have a team established of people who have a relationship with you, who love you. Number two, you're going to really start inside out. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to start working locally. You feel me? You got to go find Ohio Runs Boxing. You got to go find him. You got to go establish a relationship with Ohio Runs Boxing. And when you're at the amateur boxing events and you see him walking around with his Ohio Runs Boxing hat, you feel me, with his Mortal Kombat hat, and you got to go and talk to him. You feel me? Go establish, go follow him on social media. Have him follow you on social media. You got to get in his inbox. You got to talk to him. When Junior reaches out to you and says, "Hey man, I want you to come interview on a Punch Junkie on the Punch Junkie network," don't leave him unread, or don't read that and not respond. You feel me? So when JuniorTheTruth reaches out to you and says, hey, man, I want you to come up. I want to come interview you on the Punch Junkie Network, man. Come on up to the show and come holler at me. You feel me? Don't leave him unread. Don't do that. Don't do that. When you see him in the street, when you see him moving around, go up and speak. Hey, bro, what's going on, man? I done seen you on YouTube, you know, yada, yada, yada. I done seen the Punch Junkie Morning Show. I seen the magazine, bro. I seen it. Yeah. Don't leave him unread. When you see Ohio Runs Boxing, go talk to him. Build those relationships locally. Yolanda B513, what's going on with you? What's going on with that's Ohio shit right there. That's that Ohio shit right there. Salute to you, sis. What's up with you? So establish your team of people that love you. Auntie them. You know your auntie been putting together the family reunions. If your auntie done put together and organize the family reunions, she can book a venue for you to have a fight. You feel me? She can work with them folks. She can work with it. You can have them fights. You can set up and have a fight in the local hotel and clear out the ballroom and sell out the venue. You can do that. You can go have a fight you can debut at the Embassy Suites. You can have that event. But anyway, all right. What was my and then my last point, and then I gotta go because it's 9:41 and marketing open and everything. I gotta move around. But my last point was and this is inspired by Shakur Stevenson. This is inspired by what's my dude name? Kid Austin, his dad. This is inspired by all of the young fighters who get ultra emotional in these social media networks. They get ultra extra emotional on these social media platforms, and going back and forth with the fans and so on and so forth. Let me explain this to you, the young fighters. Let me explain this to y'all. It will be behoove you. It will be behoove you to not enter into fights and in wars that you can't win. What I mean is a fight that you 100% cannot win is a fight with the fans. So let me get this little piece of game real quick. Let me back up a little bit. Let me get this little piece of game. So fighters, what I want you to understand is because fighters don't get it. You know, different promoters and everybody, the different suits. I say the suits, not just promoters, because I don't want to just vilify promoters. The suits in the sport, they get it, and they get it a little bit more or a lot more than fighters. But they say that boxing is a business, right? Boxing is a business. And everybody is looking at boxing like it's a business, except for usually the fighters, especially the young ones. Some of the older fighters, more established fighters, they get it and they operate a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? Eventually they get to the point of operating a little bit differently. But for the most part, the young fighters, they don't understand that boxing is a business. So I'm going to say this. Boxing is a business. And within the sport of boxing, what you have is you have a business owner. You have a means. Well, you have a business owner, you have a product, you have the customer, and then you have a means. Okay, you have the means, and the means. When I say means, I mean the avenue by which the business owner is able to distribute their product to the customer. Okay, so you have the business owner with the business. So business owner, business, they're one and the same. You have the product, right? You have the customer, and then you have the means or the avenue by which the product is distributed from the business owner to the customer. Okay. Fighters, you have to understand that you are a business, like you are an individual business. The business of boxing, the business is not Top Rank. The business is not mushroom boxing, matchroom boxing. The business is not ESPN boxing. The business is not Al Heyman. The business is not PBC. The business is not Amazon Prime. Those are not the businesses. The business is Jerron Boots Enos. That's the business. The business is Adrian a Problem Broner. The business is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. The business is Sonny Kanto. The business is Najee Lopez. You feel me? The business is Jared Big Baby Anderson. That's the business. Okay? You are the business. You're the business. The product is your fighting style, your fighting, your boxing, your skills, what you're able to do in the ring. That is the product. That is what you're producing. That is what you work every day when you go to the gym, when you train. That's what you're doing. You're on the goddamn assembly line, getting your product together. That's what you're doing. The product is your skills. You as a fighter, that is your product. The customer is the fan. The fan is the customer. The fan is your customer. The boxing fans are your customers. The means by which you distribute your product to the fans comes by way of the promoters, the networks. That's the suits. They provide the means for you to distribute your product. That is the structure. That is the organizational structure of your boxing career. Now, what you have to understand is you don't work for the promoters. You don't work for them. You are entering into what's supposed to be a mutually beneficial a relationship with them in order for them to distribute your product. You understand what I'm saying? You distribute, you're able to work with them, distribute your product to the customers at a more widely, maybe more attractive method. You're able to distribute it. You're able to distribute it further. It's able to reach further. It's able to be distributed to the masses more so than if you were to do it on your own. You can do it on your own. You can do it on your own, but you use those means, those means that have become popularized. You use them because you're able to distribute it more to the masses in a quicker fashion. But they are a means, and it is a mutually beneficial relationship. Meaning, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You promote and you work with me. You make money, I make money. We make money together. You feel me? If you are working with a promoter or a management team or a network or whoever you're working with, if you're working with the suits and the money's coming back funny, something's off. Something's off. Something's weird. Something's weird. Something is off. Something in the milk ain't white. You mean to tell me that Terrence Bud Crawford was working with Top Rank Boxing? This is no knock on nobody. But Terrence Bud Crawford was working with Top Rank Boxing for all those years. And then at the end of that tenure, the CEO of Top Rank Boxing comes out and says he's lost money on Terrence Bud Crawford. Something's broke. Something's not right. Something wasn't done appropriately. Because Terrence Bud Crawford leaves Top Rank Boxing, and now he's in big fight after big fight after big fight after big fight. He's signing lucrative deals for his fights. He's one of the biggest draws in the sport of boxing right now. Soon as he left Top Rank Boxing, something in the milk's not white. This is not me suggesting anything. I'm not blaming. I'm not saying anything. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not taking no shots or no jabs at anybody. But what I am saying is that the promoter, networks, those are just the means. That's just a small part of the equation, and you have to understand that. And once you understand that, you can put everything in its appropriate place, and you don't have to be loyal to these means. For me, I have the way that distribute, let's say the black gent, right? I have these means, right? And right now I have a setup for a system that I use. If a better system comes along and I look and I see that system and it's getting and it's able to work better than my current system, I'm not loyal to my current system. You feel me? I am loyal to my product that I stand by. I stamp it. I guarantee it. It's a brand name. You feel me? Like, I'm loyal to my product and I'm loyal to my customers. I'm loyal to the customers. So if there's comes along a better system for me to distribute my products to my customers, I'm going to pivot and go to the new system. I have no loyalty, you feel me, to any of the means. My loyalty is to my product. I stand by it. I guarantee it. And then my other loyalty point is to the customers. Anything else in between that, anybody can get it. Anything between that, anything outside of the customers and the product, anybody can get it. So you got to understand that, man. Like, you literally have to understand that. So there's no way for Boots, Enos, and the news that's broken recently with the a fight, whether the fight was offered to Brian Norman Jr. or not, or whatever happened in the fallout between that. There's no reason for a fighter to want something and the team that he's working with don't go get it. You understand what I'm saying? Or the fighter is wanting something and then the team is working against him to not make that happen, as we've seen over and over and over and over again. We see it now with Boots Enos and the Brian Norman situation. We've seen it before with the Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence spill out, where the means in the middle were working so hard to not get that fight. So they were standing between these two businesses that were coming together to actually partner. You got the Terrence Bud Crawford business and you got the Errol Spence Jr. business that were coming together to partner, to put together, to combine their business, to make one big product, to distribute to the customers, the fans. And you had the means in between. You had the means that were keeping that fight from us. They were keeping that product from us. We've seen that over and over and over and over again. We see it now with this situation with Boots. There's no reason for Eddie Hearn or Mushroom Boxing to try to stand between a unification fight at 147 that we want to see. I'm not gonna say we want to see. Well, I'm not gonna say I want to see it, but a unification fight, which is ultimately a big fight in the city of Philadelphia. Like, that's a big fight for Boots, and it's a big fight for his career. Me personally, I'm not gonna say I want to see it, because I told y'all I want Boots to go to 154. I feel like undisputed at 147 doesn't do anything for his career. It's gonna be an afterthought. Feel like it's going to be an afterthought. And I think that right now, with regard to his career, the best interest of his career is to move to 154, establish himself at 154, and look for all the big fights at 154, as well as a Terrence Bud Crawford fight and all those other big fights, and becoming a champion and pursuing undisputed at 154. But young fighters, you got to understand all of this. You got to understand it. First and foremost, having a team around you of people that actually love you, care about you, and would love and care about you if you were not a boxer. You got to understand the importance of establishing a home base, establishing your presence at home, having being in the fibers, being in the gyms, being around the home, people knowing who you are, making sure that your name means something at home. My kids tease me all the time, because when we go out, every time we go out and we're, in my city, we go out, I'm always stopping and talking to people, and I'm getting hugs and kisses and all that kind of stuff. And my kids like literally think I'm some sort of ghetto superhero. Like, you know what I'm saying? They think I'm some sort of a big deal. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just a lot of people where I'm from they love me and I love them and I'm loyal to my soil. You feel me? And when I go out and I see people, I'm never gonna act different. I'm never gonna act funny or none of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hug your neck. I'm gonna expect you to hug my neck. You know what I mean? We gonna laugh, we gonna giggle, we gonna hug, we gonna cry, whatever the case may be. Like it's and so you have to have that as a young fighter. Like you have to have that. You gotta have that home base. You gotta have that soft landing for yourself. You got to have that big launch for yourself and a soft landing for yourself, and it's got to be the same place, and that's the crib. And then the third thing, and we ain't get through half of the points that I got, but the main thing is understanding what the business. When people say the business of boxing, you got to understand what that looks like. You know what I mean? When you have businesses, right? Everybody can attest to this. Everybody that works, you got a job. When you have a business, what do you have? You have an organizational chart. You have an organizational chart. And on that organizational chart, they will show you the place for everything, where everything is, the place that it's supposed to be, what's under what, who reports to who, what they do, what they do, what they do. You got to understand the organizational chart of boxing. Maybe I'll make that. Maybe I'll create that. Y'all don't steal my idea. I'm going to create the organizational chart of boxing so that fighters can really, truly, these young fighters can really understand. I'm gonna create that and I'm gonna post that bitch on the internet for the world to see. So y'all can understand. I'm gonna use this as a soundbite too. So y'all can literally understand the organizational chart of the sport of boxing, because or the business of boxing, because boxing is a business. And one thing that comes along with businesses is organizational chart. So you can understand the organizational chart of the sport of boxing. And you can understand that the fighter is the business. The fans are the customer, and all points in between. The suits are merely of means for the fighters / businesses to get their product to the customers. So you have the fighters, the business, you have their fighting skills, which is the product, you have the customers, and then you have the means to get the product to the customers. They need to understand that. And then my point with Shakur and all these young fighters, you're entering into a war that you cannot win because you're going to war with the customers. You feel me? So imagine going into a business, right? Let's say you go to uh uh imagine going into Cold Stone Creamery. You feel me? Imagine going into Cold Stone Creamery. My brother T-Few says the suits are the distribution system. That's the better way of saying it. That's an educated man right there. You feel me? Imagine going into a business. We saying Cold Stone Creamery, and you going in there to go buy you some ice cream, right? Imagine going in there and you walk in and somebody's greeting you at the door and they just start taking off on you. Like they just start cracking on you. You understand what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be like, oh man, like imagine me going to Krispy Kreme and they gonna be like, oh, you here again, oh fat ass boy? You feel me? Imagine me going to Krispy Kreme, not Krispy Kreme, I'm sorry, see my fat ass, Cold Stone Creamery. And I'm walking in the door and they say, damn, you here again, oh fat ass boy? What you gonna get? A gotta have it? You feel me? That's the big one for those out that don't know. You gonna get a gotta have it? You feel me? And they just start cracking on me, man, and disrespecting me at the door. And going back and forth with me and following me to my car once I get my coffee lovers ice cream with Reese's cup smashed up in that thing, man, in a waffle cone with the chocolate dip on it. And I'm walking back to my car with my gotta have it. You feel me? And they walk me to my car cracking on my ass. Fat ass boy. You feel me? Man, I'm not gonna want to go back there, bro. You disrespectful, bro. I'm not. Why would I go pay my money to be disrespected? Are you crazy? Are you nuts? Imagine going to Walmart and you know how they had a Walmart and you know y'all know the greeters. The greeter there, they usually standing there, they chilling. They a little unkept at Walmart. The door greeters a little unkept. They either really old and they sitting on that little you feel me? They sitting on their little walker thing and they really old and you can tell that you know they didn't recover from the 2008 crash and they still got to work. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. and so they usually sour. Or you got the other ones that be at the door. They you got to greet them. They gonna greet you, and you know they might be a little bit unkept. Some of them they a little thick around the neck, and they greet you. So imagine going into Walmart and the greeter just start disrespecting you. You feel me? Like the greeter just start disrespecting you. Like you imagine going to Walmart and the greeter just pick up their foot and kick your basket. You understand what I'm saying? They pick up their foot and just kick your basket. And then when you say something, they start speaking in they start speaking in special needs gibberish. You feel me? Like, bro, and usually they just say, hello, welcome to Walmart. But you go this time and they kick your basket, bro, and they start speaking. When you say, hey man, what's wrong with you? And they start speaking in special needs gibberish, bro. Man, I'm not like I don't care if it is in special needs gibberish. It's disrespect. I'm not finna be disrespected. I'm finna come to Walmart, man, and spend 4 times as much as I did 2 years ago on these fucking groceries and shit, man. I'm not coming in here spending my money to be disrespected. Are you crazy? I'm not finna do it. That is a fight that you can't win when you argue with the customers, bro. When you argue with the customers, I get people who get products, they respond to me. They say, man, I got a problem with this product. No questions asked. I'm gonna shoot the bread back. I'm not finna argue with you, man. If it's something was wrong with it, I'll replace it and I'll shoot you your money back. I'm not finna because I can't win arguing with the customers. So that transaction didn't work out the way we wanted it to, but let me fix it. You feel me? Let me fix it because I'm not about to argue with the customer. Salute to my brother D-Man Jr. What's up with you, homie? Yeah, man, I'm not finna argue with the customer. That's a battle you can't win because you're arguing and you're disrespecting and you're going to bats with the people who have to support you, the people who have to buy your fights. And I'm going to tell you the truth, like that Floyd Mayweather motto of being a heel, being a villain, they're going to see you win or see you lose or whatever. It works, but it works a certain way. You know, there's a certain racial component that has to work under. It doesn't work when you just disrespect the people who's supposed to be supporting you. You can't argue with the customers. You got to be a zip damn fool to go back and forth and disrespect fans. You got to be a zip damn fool to get on the internet and say, we don't care what the boxing fans want to see. And you are a boxer, or you're the father of a professional boxer, or you're the team member of a professional boxer. You got to be a zip damn fool. And I think somebody on the team that has an understanding of this should be coming and taking you all's devices and saying, man, you got to chill out. I got to go, man. Salute to the family. Thank y'all so much. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate it. Apologies to my brother Drew Titan. I'm pretty sure he's live, and I done the boot scoop boogie all on his time. So I got to slide. But salute to y'all, man. I really, truly, genuinely appreciate you. You have absolutely no idea, man. None whatsoever. If I had a million tongues, I couldn't tell it all. Hopefully, man, y'all can like this content. Hopefully, some of the young fighters, y'all can get this so that you can understand what time it is. We'll talk about it some more. So I can give y'all some more game because y'all out here losing, man. Y'all out here losing, and y'all losing rapidly. I ain't finna hold you. But salute to y'all. I really, truly, genuinely appreciate you. I have absolutely no idea, none whatsoever. Salute to everybody that shows love to the Black Gentleman Grooming Company over at www.theblackgent.com. We do have a line of all natural handcrafted grooming products specifically with you in mind. So be sure to come check us out. www.theblackgent.com. That's www.theblackgent.com. Man, and salute to everybody that shows love to the Punch Junkie Network. PunchJunkie.com, www.punchjunkie.com will get you there. You can get over there, man. Create your profile over on the Punch Junkie Network. Once again, the apps are being man, we got the apps, man, in the back. We giving them clenbuterol. You feel me? We giving them HGH. We getting the apps on steroids, man. We finna come back like nobody's business, man. But salute to y'all. I really, truly, genuinely appreciate y'all. This is Junior the Truth signing off. Give you a daily reminder to view your life like a paradise until your life looks like a paradise, man. I'm a high-born player made. If you don't know anything else about me at the end of the day, I got to keep pushing, baby.
We offer the best grooming products for you.
for you. That's all natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be your swagger, your style, class, and luxury. We make our products tailor-made for you with high quality. Yeah. So get in style with the black, yeah. Company, to give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah. The black gentleman, yeah. Company, to give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.